Hail, hail, hail this land of glory, with the Ambazonians, pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us of freedom, allegiance to the heroes who bought the land with their blood. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here is our nation, flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you their nation and joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above, because my God in the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above, the Most High God in devotion.
Good evening, Ground Zero. Good evening, Kwakwa. Good evening, Jakiri. Good evening, Boya. Happy Independence Day to all Ambazonians on the ground and across the globe. Today marks a historic day in our lives. The day that we are proud to be Ambazonians. The day that freedom came to Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians incarcerated in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon. Fellow Ambazonians internally displaced. Fellow Ambazonians scattered as refugees outside of your homeland. And fellow comrades vying to end the terror of Cameroon in Ambazonia. You are welcome to this nation address on the occasion of our Independence Day. Our valiant boys and girls on the ground, as well as civilians, una place day. You have shown the enemy from Bunduma in Boya to Old Town in Bamenda, who owns Ambazonia today. You have observed the solemn ceremony through community gatherings and festivities where it has been safe to do so. You have observed it individually and with families at home. And for that, I say thank you. If Cameroon thought that with its intimidation, with its massive arrests through Calais and extortion racket, and the killing of civilians would make us not to celebrate Ambazonia, today you have shown them that 1st October is your Independence Day. Come rain or shine, you will celebrate. You have shown Cameroon that while it is a shame to celebrate its own Independence Day on 1st of January 1960, you are proud to fly the blue and white colors. You are proud to show them that you are the owners of the land. And in the coming days, the videos of all the festivities that are now streaming in after today's activities in Ambazonia will be brought to you, fellow Ambazonians all over the world. It was a colorful occasion in the communities that could celebrate freely and in communities that our self-defense forces could protect them from the brutality of Cameroon. For that, I hold you dear at heart, all Ambazonians, abroad, and particularly those who are at home in the lion's den. Your dedication, your resilience is appreciated, and we will continue to resist Cameroon until our freedom comes. That resistance was imbued in us on the day the Sikhs stood in front of the United Nations in New York and told them that the baby that was thrown out of the basket is back in town, and we are back in town to end the reign of Cameroon. We are back in town to make sure that our jailed leaders, whether it's Sisiko Ayub Tabe, whether it's Tassan Wilfred, or now Ayaba Cho Lucas, will be free, and they will enjoy the Ambazonian that you have labored for, that you have sacrificed for, that you have given your life for. And you will also tell Cameroon that this generation is the no blinking generation, and you are happy to be born in this era. You are happy to be born to sacrifice for your nation to be free. With regards to the emblem of resistance in Ambazonia, Dr. Cho Ayaba, I can assure you that we have made contact with Dr. Cho Ayaba. He's in good spirit, heard by cripples in Oslo, and he has told us that the resistance should continue and that there should be no attempt to contest the bail, and that his time in jail, he would use it in order to educate Norway, because unlike the United States, Norway hasn't got a full grasp of the situation in Ambazonia and the war that was declared on Ambazonia by Cameroon. So he is doing great, and he's using his time of interrogation to better educate, to bring Norway that is behind up to speed with recent happenings and all the happenings that have taken place in the last 63 years. Dr. Cho Ayaba has instructed that a legal team be put in place, and that legal team has started being put in place in order to provide, to defend Dr. Cho Ayaba and other Ambazonians, including myself, that are being intimidated by a lawsuit that originates from the United States. And as we speak, the lawsuit from the United States that was filed in the United States that led to the arrest of our emblem of the revolution, Dr. Cho Ayaba, who is the leader and the forerunner to free Ambazonia, was initiated through the Norwegian embassy in the United States, where the Nsala law firm sued Norway and Dr. Cho Ayaba for terrorism charges and for crimes against humanity, for inciting such crimes in Ambazonia. It is the plea of Dr. Cho Ayaba that he is not guilty, that it is a misunderstanding, and that what Nsala, whose father was a transport minister under the regime of Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, what they're trying to do is to silence international community, is to silence the likes of Norway, Ireland, and all other countries that Ambazonian leaders live in, so that Cameroon can go scot-free, so that Cameroon should not be forced to come to the negotiation table. Because every time Cameroon has attempted to go to the Swiss, to go to Canada, Ambazonia has beaten Cameroon hands down, and they have turned around to deny ever participating in those talks. Fellow Ambazonians, these lawsuits are not going to end. What Nsala law firm is doing is they are petitioning workplaces of your leadership. They are petitioning governments in countries that your leadership are resident, so that if they are not aware, they are arrested on frivolous charges. We will take on this law firm in a legal way as well. So Ambazonians, rest assured that your revolution is intact. The processes and the structures of the Ambazonian Governing Council are intact. we have devolved power and the running of the organization to avoid a single point of failure. Because what Cameroon and Nsala are doing is they are trying to decapitate the leadership because of their failure to stop ghost towns, because of their failure to impose taxes as we have done to show that we are in control and our people have accepted to pay those taxes voluntarily. What the law firm is doing is they are making sure that neither Dr. Cho, Dr. Nyih, or any other nationalist is left standing, and they should be intimidated so that their workplaces can sack them. The governments of their respective countries should be intimidated so that recent endeavors to force Cameroon to the negotiation table can be abandoned. We all know these diplomatic tactics. And as such, in order to free our leader of the revolution, the Iroko of Ambazonia, Dr. Cho Ayaba, Ambazonians have called in to contribute to see how they can support the family and his legal team. And as such, the organization has taken steps to establish a GoFundMe drive for the sole purpose of defending human rights activists such as Dr. Cho Ayaba and other Ambazonians that are threatened by these frivolous lawsuits from the United States of America. And lest I forget, these lawsuits have also taken place in America, but they were unsuccessful because they were all frivolous. And as such, I can tell you that our leaders that were also questioned and their houses searched in the US are free as we speak. Countries like Norway that are unaware of the actual situation continue to keep our leader. But our leader has promised that we should allow the full legal system and the full course of law to take its effect in Norway. And that through that course of law, he'll be able to position Ambazonia in a positive light. And it is his wish that this case should not end in Norway. It should go up to the International Court of Justice so that the appropriate international organizations and parties will be there represented to set the record straight. Who is the perpetrator here and who is the victim, whereby lawsuits are initiated against the victims so that they are perceived as perpetrators for ulterior motives. So I ask all of you Ambazonians to chime in as you have indicated through the link on the website, and in the coming days, our communication team will be out there to provide you guidance on how you can support humanitarian efforts and activists that are locked up for frivolous reasons, such as Dr. Cho Ayaba, so that their legal teams can help defend human rights situations and the human rights cases that are levied against them or that are fraudulently levied against them. Fellow Ambazonians, it is your day to shine. The revolution is on autopilot. We have decentralized and devolved the running of the revolution. And Ambazonians have taken the right to serve dignity, the right to serve determination, and the right to defend themselves in the absence of any international instruments to defend them against genocide committed by Cameroon. The burning of villages, the killing of Mami Apia, the burning of schools, and the disappearances, forced imprisonments, and so on. And the list goes on. And this is well documented. Therefore, Ambazonians, it's your time to tell the law firm hired by Cameroon and by the son of a Cameroon minister that you are unbowed, that you will stand your ground and you will support the defense of humanitarian and activists, as well as those who speak on your behalf, such as Dr. Cho Ayaba and any other leader of the Ambazonian Governing Council that might be interrogated or that might be arrested due to these numerous lawsuits that Nsala is moving around and initiating from the US. Fellow Ambazonians, I can assure you that in the coming weeks, We will engage in escalatory projects that would show total control on ground zero. We will also make sure that through these escalatory projects, Cameroon is forced to pay the economic price. We will increase the cost of occupation. And in the coming days, I will announce to you the timeline of these escalatory projects. We have up to 7 scales of escalation earmarked. You will be advised in appropriate time on the actions to take in order to save yourself, because the Ambazonia Governing Council and other Ambazonia movements are there to save life. Our primary responsibility through our code of conduct is to protect human lives, is to obey international humanitarian law, although we are not signatory, is to defend ourselves based on the Geneva Convention. And we think and we fully believe that the Ambazonian Governing Council and its sister organizations have been functioning following all of these rules and procedures. We will make sure through our escalatory moves that a price of 1 avocado in Cameroon will cost 1,000 colonial francs. And that is a promise that I make. Fellow Ambazonians, this is not the time to waver. I thank you for your resilience. I thank you for standing firm in the face of genocide. You started with peace plans. Cameroon did not listen. You have risen up to the occasion. You are the generation that was thought to have been buried under cement, but you have germinated to show Cameroon who owns the land. I encourage you to be steadfast. I encourage you to be unwavering in the face of genocide, in the face of propaganda, in the face of forced return to normalcy, and show Cameroon who owns Ambazonia, that you Ambazonians are the true owners of your land, and you will do everything possible to defend yourselves, to defend your land as you deem necessary, and that nobody can stop and nobody can take your damn rights from you, and that never again would Cameroon venture in Ambazonia. We will make sure that Cameroon respects its borders and independence through peaceful negotiations that we have always called for. We will make sure that lives and properties are protected or defended from invaders and the barbaric regime of Cameroon in Ambazonia. We will make sure that international laws and those who do not respect international laws and humanitarian laws are brought to justice, including the forces of Cameroon and Cameroon leaders. And that is a promise that the Ambazonian Governing Council is laying out. Fellow Ambazonians, today is not a day for long speeches, but one thing is clear. The atrocities of Cameroon cannot be levied upon you or your leaders. The atrocities of Cameroon are glaring, and for Cameroon to cover them up, Cameroon turns you to be the victim. I can assure you that the forces are upbeat. I can assure you that the forces are ready to defend the land and the people from the invading forces of Cameroon. And you have shown that in the last 7 years, how determined, how you can humble the bee, how you can humble their arrogance. The ones called you dogs, rats, 2 cubes of sugar. The cubes of sugar have enough dryness to swallow a basin of water that they thought they were. And that is your achievement. We have traveled thus far. This is not the time to waver. We have traveled thus far. This is the time to push forward. And I can assure you that the takeover plan established by Dr. Cho Ayaba will be implemented at the right time when the conditions are right. And we thank you all. Happy Independence Day. Hail, hail this land of glory.